Hello and welcome to the Community Voice. I am Fara Sax. Sage House Wellness is in the house today. They are my guests. The operators are Dimple Bhatti and Erica Shea. They join us and they want to share with us their holistic approach to health, wellness, and making for a better life. Thank you so much for coming. You guys are right down the street in Pinecrest.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
It's so nice. I feel like we're sitting in our own little living room here.
Yes.
And I can just tell you about all my stuff, and you could tell me all your stuff, and we're like all girly together. But what is the work that you do at Sage House? And you know, let's talk about that journey, how it started for you. You guys are friends. You met in college in a laundry room.
We did. Many years ago. We're not going to date ourselves here, but I was heading out for the evening. It was a Friday, and I saw her doing her homework in the laundry room. I was like, oh, perfect, responsible. I said, excuse me, would you mind turning over my laundry? I'll be back soon. She goes, yeah. Many hours later, I came and I saw a nice little note on my door. Didn't even realize she was my neighbor in the dorm, just 2 doors down. And it said, I have your laundry. She had taken it out to dry. She had it folded. And we've been friends ever since. Best friends. She's family now.
Erica. Where did you guys go to school, Erica?
University of Miami.
Oh, so you're also local. Pinecrest, University of Miami.
We've been here a long time.
Yeah, Miami has been home. I originally came from Trinidad. She came from the DR. But Miami has been home for a very long time for us. We've built businesses here and worked here, had our kids here, graduated here, did everything.
Did you know that you're going to have a business together, Erica?
Together, we always wanted to, but we've been dreaming about it for a while.
Yeah, we used to joke around about it more than anything else. And we had a lot of different ideas floating around. But on a deeper level, we knew we wanted something that can help others. And we started playing around with this idea that there wasn't a place that combined inner well-being and beauty. There just hasn't been a place that you can go for your external appearance and you can also go for therapy, but there wasn't a place that brought everything together for the whole person. And about 2 years ago, we started putting this concept together and started looking into how easy or difficult it would be. It's been a journey. There have been many times we said, oh my God, this is, and in the beginning, people would look at us, what? So what do you guys actually do? We do a little of everything.
Erica, tell me a little bit about what you do at
I do acupuncture.
So you're a doctor?
Yes, I got my doctorate degree at Adam in Fort Lauderdale, yes.
And tell me about that experience. Why did you decide acupuncture and oriental medicine?
Well, acupuncture, I've always had acupuncture done since I was little. I suffer from migraines. So my mom, instead of giving me like heavy medication, she just took me to acupuncturist that was local. And it worked. I went there when I had migraines, irregular periods, any colds I had. That was the first place we went to, and it worked. So when I decided to go back to study, I thought, hey, I think I like this. I can help people with this.
And your degree is in?
In acupuncture and oriental medicine.
And when you went to the University of Miami?
It was more arts and science.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you use that eventually, that degree?
Not really. I did a little bit of interior design.
We used our degree.
I did a little bit of interior design, stuff like that, but not really. I got married, had kids. The kids were my focus.
Absolutely, as well as they should be. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. So. And Dimple, how did you mean you've had restaurants?
Mine has been a journey. I did my first degree in business. Then I followed up with my MBA. I had no intention of being in business. It was just, everything came full circle. After that, I went on to learn more about skin, which is part of what we do at Sage House. As my dad's a dermatologist, it was always like a pet project of mine. And then I decided what the world needed the most was for people to empower themselves. I think a lot of problems people have in their day-to-day lives come from a lack of understanding who they are and caring about themselves. And that's where my journey took me. I went back. I had done my first master's. After my MBA, I went back and I did a master's in counseling. At that time, I specialized in addiction, and it wasn't really my area. And this time I went back and I specialized in relationships. I did another master's, this time in therapy, and I did the whole coaching thing and I did the relationship part. And I thought, this part is my calling. This is what I want to do. I want to help people be their best selves by developing their own self-love.
So tell me more about that. Talk about that therapy and that coaching, life coaching, relationship coaching, and how we get in touch with organically really bringing that out for ourselves and falling in love with ourselves.
What it started with is, I think in our 20s, I saw everyone, the usual, fell in love, got married, and I've watched a lot of my friends as life went on. The marriage didn't work. And I noticed one common denominator is there was so much self-sacrifice and not enough self-love. Like they had become part of another person and they had lost themselves along the way. And I noticed that was happening more and more. And people were depressed, people were angry, people were sad, but no one, and the cycles continued. Like they would go from that marriage to relationships that looked like that marriage and more relationships that looked like that marriage. And they didn't understand why.
They were destined to repeat the same pattern.
Repeat the same pattern until most of us don't realize everything we're looking for, we already have it. We're already a whole person. We're not looking for this other person to fix us, to complete us, or whatever it is that we have imagined in our life.
Walk me through that. How do we access that in your therapy?
I always say to build self-confidence comes with self-care. So I try to get clients to start doing things that they ordinarily would not do for themselves, little steps. Small things like they never had to do, handle their own finances, fix something in their house. Little things that you do for yourself that you didn't think you could do ultimately will build your self-confidence. And from that self-confidence comes your self-love.
So you basically give them homework. They go home and they
get homework.
They get homework and then, but it's the inside job of homework.
Yes, because it's not my job to change them. I have to get them to a place where they change themselves, where they want to be this version. And everyone knows who they want to be. We all have this idea of ourselves that we know is the best version, but we're just too scared to try to commit to it.
There's a great saying that it's, what would I do if I wasn't afraid?
Absolutely.
What would I do?
If we thought there was no consequences, we thought nothing can go wrong, what would you do?
So it seems to me that Sage House really grew from this because you both had other jobs, other careers. You owned a restaurant locally in Pinecrest with your husband. And then you really probably took stock in both of yourselves and in your relationship with each other as best friends. What would I do? And here we are. How long ago? Not that long ago. This really grew and gave birth. How long ago, Erica?
When was it?
We actually put things into motion at the beginning of this year, but our opening was at the end of July.
Right.
But we had this concept floating around
for a long time.
For a long time.
So it was really hatching. It needed to grow. You needed to really bring it to fruition. But it was in the brain. That's where things begin, is inside of ourselves.
And I realized the only thing holding us back was our own self-doubt. So we go back to that.
What would I do if I wasn't afraid?
What if it didn't work? What if, it wasn't successful? What if we don't achieve what we set out to achieve? But it's been going good, and I really believe this is what we were meant to do.
Absolutely. And Erica, how do you approach your acupuncture and herbal medicine and Chinese medicine and teaching people? Because there is, it seems, a connection between the mind-body, the somasomatic response.
Acupuncture, we tend to treat the root cause. So we usually check tongue, pulse, and we make our diagnosis. And then from there, we use herbs and acupuncture, sometimes cupping, moxa. There's different things we can use to treat that person.
And it seems like there's a real synergy between both of what you're doing in the coaching part of component for people, as well as the acupuncture component.
Yes.
Do you guys work together in helping patients?
Yes, we do.
And are people open to that? Are they both? Are they open to both modalities, or are they
yeah.
resistance?
They are. In the beginning, they're like, what? How? Like, she will do the acupuncture for people with anxiety, and then in tandem, I'll do the coaching and the counseling and trying to get them emotionally balanced, mentally balanced.
And do you think it's different now than years ago after, let's say, COVID and things that are going on?
Absolutely.
And are we at a different stress level than we were post
Absolutely.
whatever 2020 or whatever we want to pick?
I think with things like the advent of social media, we're always on. We're always on. And I think in recent times, whether it's political or things happening globally, people are anxious, people are angry, and there's this static around everyone all the time. And after COVID, it got heightened because people were secluded. A lot of anxiety, a lot of depression developed during that time. But the best part of it is mental health has finally been recognized as something. It's people know now that how important it is. And I always use this comparison. When we break an arm, there is no debate. We go see a doctor. So why is it when our mind, our emotional self is broken, why was that a stigma? Why did we not go get help for that as well? So I think people are more accepting now, much more accepting of, oh, I'll go see a therapist. Oh, I can't handle this on my own.
If someone is coming to you now, what would be some of the benefits that you can offer, or some of the services in walking them through their therapy or their services and products that you're going to work with them? What can they expect?
They can expect like what we like to call a full alignment of who they are. Take the issues that they have and we address them one by one. Starting, as I said, small things that they can do. And we do work together because she handles the acupuncture, which aligns the body. I put them through little homeworks, as you say, and I empower them to tell me how would they like this to go? What are they seeking? What do they want? Again, if there were no consequences and it could not go wrong, how do they see themselves? And then we work from there. We take little parts at a time, and they usually end up feeling pretty good. Within a few weeks, they start empowering themselves.
And that was my question. And with acupuncture, is it a one-time? Is it many sessions? How do we know
it's
that
a few
like
sessions.
working?
It depends on people to give you an exact number, but people usually respond well with stress and anxiety after a few sessions.
And then you do conjunction with some herbs?
Yes. And the herbs are all natural, so it doesn't interact with anything else. So it's pretty safe.
Interesting. And tell me more about your role and what you do on a daily basis. It's a women-driven business, women-owned. Look at it. Oh, I heard that. Oh, I got the sigh.
Yeah, it is.
Behind the scenes, behind the curtain.
I would say a good 80% of our clients are women.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a little more to convince men that they too need
tune-ups.
Yes, and they too need to be in touch with themselves. But it's happening. They are the smaller aspect of our business. Right now, it's women-driven.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah,
it's really
for
obvious.
Stress-related, I only have maybe a very few men come for stress and anxiety.
So they're on the book for more men. So if you're a man in the audience and you want more information.
Yes, we're open. We're open. You come at your pace. There's nothing feminine about getting help in anything. Everyone deserves to have that. I've had a few males approach me and say, oh, you do this. I really need help. My relationship is not going well. I'm like, okay, so please come in. You can come alone. You can come with your significant other. And then we don't hear from them again.
Absolutely.
Because it's a stigma for them still. Like why would I come and sit and talk with you about my relationship?
It's interesting because Erica, growing up, you really were exposed to acupuncture at a very early age. Did you really think that was going to be your life's work?
No.
What was that moment that you changed and you said, I really need to change directions?
I think
And I'm not living my best, what I could be doing with myself.
I wanted to help people more. And the first thing that popped into my head was acupuncture. When I decided to go back to my studies, and I was like, well, how can I help people? And that was the first thing that came up to mind.
And you grew up in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. When did you come to the States?
Study at UM. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So right after high school.
What was it like? It was culturally, it must be very, very different.
Not really. We used to visit Miami because it's only like a 2-hour flight. Mm-hmm. So we were here all the time. So I didn't feel like a cultural difference at all. And it's a short flight back.
Right.
So,
and your background is quite diverse. So tell me a little bit about the journey from that growing up.
So also, I was born and raised in Trinidad. I came to Miami when I was 16. And I've been coming to Miami since I was a baby, all long weekends, holidays.
Growing up, my grandparents lived in North Miami Beach, so I grew up in New York. But
all my relatives were here, and we were coming since all holidays, school holidays, long weekends. So when I finally came here at 16, it didn't feel any different. It felt just like a second home, which became the first home. And here we are. But just like Erica, I knew whatever I did had to help others. That is one thing I was very sure about. The restaurant was great. It was a great experience.
You had some mean Indian food.
Thank you.
It was great.
We still get asked all the time, are you guys reopening? Are you guys reopening? Why'd you close? And
it was a long journey you were there.
Yes, we were there for 13 years.
That's a long time in a community, in the heart of Pinecrest, no less.
We were well known. It did well. No complaints. But it wasn't my thing. It was more my husband's thing.
Well, who knew how to cook? Your husband?
No. We had excellent chefs. I mean, he knows, but we had very good chefs. We had amazing people that were the backbone of that restaurant.
Absolutely. And so food seems to be one of the components in this nurturing or healing. You want to speak about that?
Yeah, it was. It brought the community together. We saw people from all walks of lives. I got to meet a lot of amazing people in that restaurant because I would go around and I would talk to them, and it would start off with, oh, how's your meal? How's everything? Anything else we can get you? And I got to realize who the community was made up of. People you would see out and never think to talk to. That was the best part. For me, that was the best part of having the restaurant. And I have made lifelong friends. Even in the staff, we're meeting one tonight for dinner. So
you going to an Indian restaurant?
No. I really only liked mine. And as great as it was to feed all these people and meet all these people, I still didn't feel that my calling was there.
So there was a piece missing for you as well.
Yes. I've worked also at schools and I have done a lot of other things, but it didn't feel satisfying to me. I needed to feel like I was making a difference to someone's life.
And you both are completely diverse backgrounds. I mean, growing up and you forged a lifelong friendship together.
Yes. She's family now. There's no friendship. And the thing is, we are polar opposites. We could not be any more opposite. And it works perfectly.
That's what they say. It's like a marriage, right? Absolutely. What do you envision for the Sage House as it contributes and makes its way into the community? What are you hoping for?
I'm hoping for it to become a place that people know that if they come, they will see so many benefits to their lives, that they will be empowered, they'll be strengthened. For everyone who feels lost or broken, unhappy, that they can come and pull themselves together. That's what I hope for, to make a difference to Miami and to but I also we hope long term to open other locations out of state. So that's our next goal. But right now, our immediate goal is to get this one up and going.
Absolutely. And how long does it take to get an appointment?
Right now, we run about 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
Yes.
And your hours are?
We
appointment-based.
Yeah, we appointment-based. We will work with the client. A lot of people can only come. She's met people before work, so very early, 7 a.m. I've met people after work, 7 p.m. We've been there on weekends. So we'll work with you.
And the space is intimate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
We started off thinking storefront, bigger space. And when we first started, and more we looked into it, it didn't seem feasible on a lot of levels. So we got a smaller area in a beautiful building in Pinecrest, and it has worked out great because people enter and they're not overwhelmed. They feel just like we're feeling right now, like it's home.
I just must tell you, I've had quite a day today, and I'm just like, I feel so mellow, and I've had no acupuncture and no life coaching with you both. So
That's what we aim for. So our place is very intimate, very small, very cozy. We try to make it, adjusted to each client.
absolutely.
As we get to know our clients, we know their moods, we know their personalities, and we adjust accordingly.
In the moments that we have left, anything else you want to share about the work that you're doing, what you want the community to know, what kind of takeaways from today's interview with us being here today?
We see everyone, teenagers, male, female, older people, and we're here to help everyone. It's a very non-judgmental place. People can come, be themselves, and we will do our best to help them become their best selves.
You, Erica?
Same. I take my time treating people. I don't rush them. That's what I like doing because I don't feel rushed. I like taking my time, diagnosing properly, and treating them properly.
And it's interesting that you say that, because when one goes to a doctor, which I think is so important, there's a place for everything. And if you need to get to a doctor for medical reasons, you absolutely should go. So that's my disclaimer. But I love what you just said, that you take your time. And so it's not a rush job.
No. A lot of places, they only do maybe like 25 minutes one-sided. I go both sides.
What does
I
that
make
mean, both sides?
Like front and back. A lot of places is like face up, maybe 25 minutes. But I take my time. I treat both sides. Anything you need, anything I see, I treat.
And you have behind you, it says facial acupuncture, neuroacupuncture, electro.
Yeah. So even for beauty, I can tone up the muscles on your face and.
Well, tell me more about that.
It's great for wrinkles. It creates more collagen, so it's great for beauty.
So, in other words, it's a shortcut to having to go to another kind of doctor.
Yes, it's more natural.
Is it long lasting?
You have to do it frequently. Like you have to keep it up.
So is it different acupuncture points on the face?
Yes.
That helps.
What
are you doing this afternoon at about 3 o'clock?
I'll be needling you.
That is something we also do together. She does the facial acupuncture, and I do other facial treatments.
So, I mean, I can go in or they can go in. I'm getting all excited right here. But you go in and you do some acupuncture, and then we can do, the audience could do facial as a patient and
Correct.
come in and do. Tell me about that.
So sometimes she has someone who comes in for facial acupuncture for one thing, but then they'll say, I also have scarring, and then she can treat the scarring to a certain degree to smoothen them out with the acupuncture. And then I do several sessions, about 5 usually, of glycolic peels, acid peels to even out the skin tone and have everything back to looking as good as possible.
Well, it's like a car. You go in and get a complete tune-up from head to toe and then inside and out, right?
We have our own skincare line.
Well, tell me about
that.
that.
I developed with dermatologists. As I said, my dad is one, and he did this in 2020. No, not 2020. He did this in 2000.
Wow. That's even long. That's 24 years ago.
Yes.
So it's
and
not
I
like
never
4 years ago.
thought that I would take that and make my own out of it. But I do. We have a complete, comprehensive range of skincare.
Wow.
In-house. It's available there and online, and I'm very proud of it. So, yes.
Erica, knowing the journey that you've lived, what are the things that you're most proud of thus far?
I guess my studies. It's something that you don't stop. You keep on continuing to study. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I think we always have to be learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of those have tos, because if we don't grow. Dimple, I love the name Dimple.
Thank you.
What is for you the most important?
I think the most important, I've seen myself grow. I'm a completely different person than I was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, last year. And I think that's what I am most proud of. So when I get my clients, I have the ability to tell them, I understand. I know what it feels like to be stuck. I know what it feels like wondering, okay, so what do I do next? And I can take it from there because I can relate to them. Who I was is definitely not who I am anymore. And I am most proud. I've seen it with her also. She doesn't see it in herself, but she's grown so much. So I think that's, and we're going to continue to grow as
Absolutely.
people.
Absolutely. And if the audience wants to get in touch with you for Sage Health Wellness, how do we do that?
By phone, email, everything, anything.
Okay, we're going to show something on the bottom for more information. SageHouseMiami.com for more information. Or if they want to reach you by phone, what is the phone number, please? We can give that information if you have it off the top of your head.
We just got 2 new numbers.
So we don't have that new number, but SageHouseMiami.com for health and wellness. Well, you want to say something?
And beauty.
And beauty. Inside out.
Inside out. All of
Inside
it. And they can always email us.
And then how would they email you? Info at?
SageHouseWellness@gmail.com.
Perfect. And I want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
I look forward to coming to get beautiful and
Please do come
just
by
get that
anytime.
tune up. Thank you so much, Erica, Dimple. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
And
you.
Have a wonderful day.
You
And
too.
much success in all you're doing. And welcome to Pinecrest, a great community to be part of.
Thank you.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
And I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm Fara Sax. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great day. And a special thank you to Julian Chang, who now has a second location in Pinecrest. Go visit his boutique for all your clothing and accessory needs.